That's right.
It's interesting. One of the topics tonight is going to be working remote because we're working remote. You're in Cleveland. I'm in
Hey, there you are.
Columbus.
I can see you. I can see you now on the book of faces there. I got you. A
Probably a bit of a delay there.
little bit. That's fine.
Yeah. So everybody watching, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. So we're not above that. Like I said, true professionals at all times.
Yes, all the time. Yes, we did. We pre-tested this. By pre-tested means in the last 12 minutes we've been like, why isn't this working?
Yeah, you just came from a meeting, so
Oh,
this is very last minute.
yes, but my meeting was very productive.
Speaking of which, I have my Stein here, fully loaded.
Well, I'm up in the Cleveland area, so I actually got to visit the Hofbrauhaus Cleveland today, and they gave me a
They
complimentary
gave you one.
Hofbrauhaus Cleveland Stein tonight. So I've got
Nice.
my glass Stein from the Hofbrauhaus Cleveland. I'll be drinking it with a Cleveland Red Lager. A Cleveland Red Lager.
Now, what makes
It
it?
is about 6.5%,
Okay,
and it is delicious.
that sounds good.
Actually, I think it's 6.8. 6.8%.
So
Absolutely delicious. Good red, very deep.
yeah, so I haven't had a Cleveland Red Lager. So is this one of their own recipes up there, or is this because we don't have anything really custom in Columbus? We have the go-tos that Hofbrauhaus usually makes. That changes out monthly.
Yeah, I know. I've got a picture here. I don't know if it'll show up on the I don't know show up on the webcam here. We'll give it a shot. We'll take a look at the board, which you've seen
Hmm.
our board at the one in Columbus.
Yeah,
This is their
yeah.
board there.
They got quite a few
As you
more
can see,
on the
there's
list
a
there.
lot more. I'm gonna go through these for those of you guys in Rio Linda there. They have a lager. They have a Weizen Dunkel. Okay, you know what? We all have got those.
Right.
Right now, they're also working the Schwarzbier. They have a shandy. They have a freaking shandy. They were like, you know what? It's above freezing. We're putting on a shandy.
I love a shandy. Well, we have a rattle.
They have the custom. Yes, they have the custom Cleveland Red Lager, the 6.3% beer. Absolutely delicious. When as you're drinking it, you can smell some of the hops. But the bitters of the hops that the people like me who love to drink beer,
Hmm.
not love to talk about drinking IPAs, we don't like that bitter. The
Right.
smell of it, you know what? It's okay. It gives a good aroma, but the bitters are gone.
Hmm. Nice.
All right, now here's where things get stupid.
Oh, what?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say stupid for last. They have a Winterswickel.
Oh, what?
Now, this is such a custom of a beer.
Say
I
that-
don't even know. It's a Zwickel beer. It's a Zwickel beer.
Zwickle.
So I'm not even 100% sure of what all consists of that.
Hmm.
How it's made, how it's brewed, or what its characteristics are. I didn't drink it. I really probably should
I don't
have.
know a Zwickle.
But they are also rocking the Doppelbock right now as well. That's an 8% beer up here again in Cleveland. And the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna get stupid. We're gonna get stupid.
Well, we usually do.
They have a bourbon barrel aged Doppelbock.
Ooh, nice. A
That is a
barrel-aged
flat
Doppelbock.
10%.
Nice.
And I tried some of it tonight.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear me bite my tongue a couple times, you know what? That's why.
Is there a brewer from Zaftig? That's a hefty beer.
You would almost think so. Yes, you would almost think so.
So I have some homework for you. Before you come back, you're not allowed to leave Cleveland without getting a couple crowlers of that Zwipple.
Well, I didn't get the Zwickel,
Zwickel.
but I did snag 3 crowlers of the Cleveland Red.
I don't even know what a Zwickel is. You can't not try a
Zwickel.
style of beer.
Zwickel. I don't know.
You can't.
I don't know. I
not trying
didn't
this
give it a
brand
shot.
new
I
stuff.
won't have time. We're heading out. We're heading out first thing, early mid morning tomorrow.
All right.
It's gonna be legendary.
Legend. Wait.
But I'll be back tomorrow. So hey, Laura L. Lyons Black just chimed in, and I happen to know that this sweet old lady right here turns 99 years old today. It is
Wow.
actually her birthday. She's not 99 years old, and I'm not going to disclose exactly how old she is.
I thought you were being
But
serious for a
happy
minute.
birthday to her, and I love you, and I will definitely chit chat with you here in a bit.
Happy birthday, Laura. So you know what this
So
means?
that's the beer portion from Columbus.
Yeah, we need to. So Mick Walcott says you need to test each one before you talk about them. And Mick, I totally agree. This man had access to a brand new style of beer, the Zwickel, and didn't get a crowler.
I don't know.
And I have no idea what that is.
I don't.
So you know what this means? You and I need to take a road trip to Cleveland, and
Cleveland.
I don't think I'm allowed back
Literally,
there anymore.
flash
But
all
if they'll
over
let me through the gates, we need to go back and pick up a couple of crowlers of this because I've never had it before.
They'll let you in.
Yeah. I did some business there,
So
and say no more. They won't let me back in. Nice.
So what are you drinking? What are you drinking at your location
All right.
tonight?
So I have my ceramic Hofbrau Stein here, filled with. Now I didn't have any Hofbrau beer. I didn't go down there today, but I got Magic Hats.
So you know where you went wrong.
Magic Hats Barroom Hero. I did not go wrong. This is a great beer. Barroom Hero from Magic Hat. This is their collaboration beer they did with Dropkick Murphys. This is a barroom pub. What's that?
Hey, I have been on an insane Dropkick Murphys music world over the past couple of days.
So I'm saying, I got a can of this I'm saving for you. This is a good beer.
Great.
This is a pub-style ale. Only 4.2%, but this is really tasty. You can drink this literally all day long. But we're in a good place. So just so everybody's aware also, we're going blind right now for whatever reason. Dave can't see my camera. We can all see him.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We can
so
see
here,
him
just to make sure everybody thinks that that we're normal. Hey West, how you doing tonight?
Hey.
That's great.
So,
lovely to see.
Oh wait, I'm pointing the wrong way. There you go. So
wait, are you this way?
No, yep. You were looking the right way, I was looking the wrong way.
I might be.
No, you were looking the right way.
And then I'm gonna wait for the lag to catch up. So that I can see. Oh no, you were. Okay, all right. It just caught up to that point.
See?
Yes, so I can see that you're looking the wrong way. Okay. So what are we talking about tonight, Wes? What are we on?
So we got a nice full agenda tonight. Tonight we're talking about. So I thought since we're working remotely, it would be a great time to talk briefly, about the whole work from home situation. Is this
yes, absolutely.
Is this a permanent thing? Is this how are companies dealing with this? What are the pros and cons? Now that the vaccines are out, are people going to start going back to offices? These are all great questions. Yes. So, we have some stats on here, but before we start, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you like it? You're a people person.
Here's my thought right now.
Talking to people.
Before we dig into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, reach out there, click the like button for this video, click the share, and comment, guys. If back in the day, they would let us know when people were watching, and we could tell who was watching. They got rid of that feature. If you jump in and you don't interact with us, we don't know you're there anymore. So please interact with us. We will respond. We'll talk about you on the air in a positive manner, of course, and do all that. But as far as the working from remote, to get back onto the topic, I am the voice that kind of leans the other way. I believe
you like face-to-face interactions.
I believe it's temporary.
Mm-hmm. You think it's temporary?
I believe it's temporary. There will only be a finite time where the employees, the workers, they go, wait a minute, I'm now paying for the electric, the heat, the things, and I'm not able to interact with everybody. I'm paying for my own office space, as it were. I'm not going to take. Now, there are going to be certain people out there who love it, and they're going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a blanket statement that everybody is going to rush right back to an office. But I believe the majority will go back.
Okay.
Productivity rules all. And eventually, productivity is going to drop because of being out of the office.
So we have some interesting stats on that might sway you a little bit. As far as, paying for the electricity and paying for the office at home. There are tax benefits to having a home office.
Yes.
You can actually write off a lot of that stuff. You can actually write off.
You can write off the square footage of the space used, yes.
Absolutely. And there are even some companies that are paying a percentage of home equipment, as far as, office supplies and desks and computer equipment and whatnot. Matt Harmon, the consummate professional, says it will never be the same. And I kind of agree.
Yeah, it will never. He's right. I don't believe that he's wrong at all. I do not believe it will ever be the same. Sorry, I was going to open the window behind me, the blinds, just to give you guys a look out from where I was.
Good view.
It's not impressive, but it might be better than nothing.
It's Cleveland.
Hey, here, look at this curtain.
They got some nice stuff in Cleveland.
But I'm up actually by the Cleveland Clinic, right, like right next door. But yeah, he is absolutely right. Matt Harmon, who talks a lot of stuff. He's right on this. It will never be the same. It will never be the same.
Right. Just some superficial things that, we've noticed this year is the implementation of technology alone for streaming purposes. I mean, we are easily 10 years ahead of where we would be if the whole pandemic thing never happened. Let's read some of these stats here. I'll try not to make it, super,
Yeah, go for it.
Reading off a script here. So, first of all, employees saved an average of 40 minutes a day commuting. And that's a short commute because I've had commutes that are 40 minutes one way. And you save a lot of time by not sitting all day in the car.
Yes, so, absolutely.
I know that you like to drive, but I am not somebody who wants to sit in traffic all day. It's just not my thing. Here's some good stats. So 23% of people surveyed, this is from the Owl Lab.
What did the survey say?
The survey said 23% of those surveyed would take a 10% pay cut to work from home permanently. Let's see. Here's a good one. This is actually going to strike home with a lot of people. People are saving on average $500 per month being home during this pandemic, resulting in a savings of close to $6,000 per year. Now imagine a $6,000 raise. That's essentially what it boils down to by money you're saving, by not commuting to the office, eating out more often. That's a lot of money.
I can honestly attest to the eating out more often.
Exactly. So there are a lot of benefits to, working from home. And there are benefits for the companies, for the corporations as well, the companies, because now they don't necessarily have to pay for all the overhead of these big, nice, new, fancy offices. They don't have to pay for all the extra office supplies that employees tend to run through pretty quickly if they're not just taking it home themselves. There are a lot of just keeping the lights on, just keeping the electricity on in one of these giant corporate offices has got to cost a fortune. So
absolutely does.
Even companies are saving a lot.
It absolutely does to the cost accounting of every business.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. The people I think who are hurting the most in this are commercial real estate agents. Because commercial real estate, I have a feeling, is going to take a pretty steep nosedive over the next few years. And I think there are certain organizations and certain types of business that can never go remote over the long term. But look at Google, look at Twitter. They've already implemented a permanent optional work from home policy. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
I couldn't do it. You know me. Anybody who knows me, I am far too social of a person to be able to handle that. And, my wife, who is an introvert of the utmost standards, she could do it. She could pull it off. But me, I'd much rather go out and shake somebody's hand. Yeah. And if I've got to yell at somebody, I'm going to yell at them in person. I'm going to yell at them on a phone or over a podcast, or not a podcast. What do they do? A Zoom meeting. Right. A Zoom meeting. I'm not going to take my time in a Zoom meeting. Come on now. That's not the same.
We know the funny thing.
It's not the same.
For years, I worked my own clients. And, during that time, a lot of them, I was on, calls. That's how I communicated with most of my clients. Most of the time, I didn't have face-to-face meetings unless they specifically requested it. I just had deliverables. We had a lot of phone calls. And I would go entire, weeks without, I shouldn't admit that openly, but without actually, going out and interacting with real people aside from, friends and family.
Real people. See that right there? That right there.
What are you trying to say?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just because they're not in front of us, they're no less real people. And I understand that's not what you're meaning, but the fact that we're not having a face-to-face physical interaction with these people, be able to shake their hands, look them in the real eyes, not the digital eyes, it makes a difference. I agree that it's never going to go back the same that it was, but I don't believe that it's going to be able to stay the way that it is.
Well, and you bring up a good point too. it makes me think of my son's schooling. So, when my son's 5, when he goes to, it's only kindergarten, right? So he can bounce back if things change. But when he goes to school, he has to leave his mask on all the time that he's there. I don't
Okay.
even knows what his friends at school look like. And at this point, he doesn't even give their names because they don't have the chance to get to know each other because they got to stay 6 feet apart, even on the playground.
Yeah.
They can't. They don't see each other's.
You high five your bro in the hallway, boom, detention.
So, well, yeah, not many kindergartners in detention, but I wouldn't put it past my son. But the thing is think
I've
of this.
heard stories.
At a young age, right? Think of how impressionable and how much your ideas of what life is are molded and shaped during that time. Think of the social implications of children, from K through 12, not being able to interact over long periods of time with other kids the way that we did. And look, people bounce back, we always do, but there might be unforeseen long-term consequences of at least the younger crowd.
I'm going to throw this out there. Being the PhD carrying person I am about early childhood development, none of that's true, by the way. I honestly believe that from kindergarten to about 4th grade, it needs to be focused on social interaction.
Yep.
And conflict resolution.
Absolutely.
I think the world would gain so much more by it. You know what? Great.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids are going to do well at math. And you know what? Encourage that and grow that. But everybody needs to learn how to have a disagreement with another person.
Right.
Without that person automatically being the devil.
You don't have your reverb.
But I don't have my reverb. So I did it. Wait, I've got a clicky button on this thing. Let me see. Does this mic work? That better? No, that doesn't do anything.
We can hear you just normally.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, now you sound like for tin can.
Hello now.
Yeah, people just listening on a podcast. Yeah. What are these?
What are these guys doing? Well, it's the first time we've done this remote thing, and like I showed earlier, I'm not going to move it again because the last time we lost communications with it. But the microphone, we've had this microphone since day one, and we used it originally. We were going to do audio portions pull out only, and then we found out that we could just do it through the channels that we already had. We didn't need it, so it's been sitting idle. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's no longer idle, and we're full tilt. We're using it. I believe the sound is good.
You sound great to me.
So hopefully everybody else out there can hear me very well. We've got a hashtag Dave's got a point, and then a PhD question mark. No, the real story is no, I don't have a PhD. And then we also have a kindergarten fight club message from Matt Harmon as well.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but I was actually going to say he has a fair point on one of his previous comments, not the kindergarten fight club, which I think South Park already did an episode on that. But it is he mentions the cost of marriage therapy because couples are around each other all day now. And you know what? It's funny. He's not wrong. I would love to see statistics of divorce. I hate to say it this way, but spousal abuse and even murder between 2019, 2020, and then going into 2021. I would love to see that spike and see what that looks like because all 3 of those have got to be spiked right now.
Now, I can tell you, and I don't have the numbers. I do not have the numbers in front of me. But, and we can get them. We're not going to get them because that can go into politics and our rules.
We don't do.
If your business is not politics, your business belongs into no politics.
Yep.
If that's not your job, stay away from it. But I happen to know somebody who is involved very intimately with that, spousal abuse, those types of problems.
Yeah.
And over the last year, he has told me this is up. This is up, and I love my wife, but I've already made plans to be able to work outside of the house, even though my job is going to be remote, and I could work in the house, but we've got to have separation.
Right. I mean, it's
that we're going to be packing my house up, so that would be a pain in the butt.
Right. And
be packing up my house around my office.
And I'm not even talking about like normal people who like each other but get annoyed with each other once in a while. I'm talking about people who there might already be a situation going on, and they actually look forward to going to the office or getting out of the house for 10 hours a day just to get away from that. And now, in a lot of cases, they can't.
Yeah, I mean it's rough here. I got to send a message over. I had a reply back from the. Now normally we start this. We have a 10-minute countdown, but because I was already an hour late because I had a meeting. I appreciate the
Somebody
fact that
has
that
the
meeting
day
was at
job.
House. But that I had a meeting that ran late, so we just launched into this. So the whole time we've been sitting here talking, I'm doing my normal rundown of inviting people in, getting them doing stuff. Shane Glenn popped in and said, "Hell yeah!" So I'm gonna reply back to him, and we're gonna keep on going.
Yeah.
But the more you guys interact with us, the better it is. We can see you're there. We can talk with you. But
Not just because it's a better show, but just because it does help the algorithm also. If you
yes,
like the show, if you want this to continue, interact, like the video, share it, leave a comment, because that tells Facebook that you want to see more of this. And then it's going to spread, the algorithm will spread our message far and wide because you're interacting, that you're telling Facebook that this is what
yes.
you like.
Yeah, this is what you like.
And
This is
if
definitely
this is not what you like,
Why would you
hate our channel.
not love it? I mean, this is freaking awesome.
And if you hate
It's
our
great.
channel,
So,
if you
Wes,
don't like us, you got to leave a comment
Wes, I have
saying
a
you hate
question
us.
for you. Is there a report on, let's say I'm an employer
Mm-hmm.
and I'm offering a job that's come to this office, or I'm employer B, I'm saying you can come to this office, but you also can work from home. What are the numbers on that?
I don't have any exact numbers on that comparison, but I do have a couple similar numbers here. 81% of people surveyed said that they believe their employer would continue supporting work from home after the pandemic. There's another one that says 59% of respondents said they would more than likely choose an employer who offered a work from home option.
West, I was setting you up for that answer.
Oh. We know each other well.
This is what happens when we're not side by side.
We know each other well, to a degree.
Yes. Yeah, back at the apartment where we both live.
Yeah.
Okay, so 59%, and that's a shocking number. That is just shy of, those of you in Rio Linda, just shy of 60 people, 60% of people, 60 people out of 100. Again,
they only surveyed 100 people.
Rio Linda. Yeah, they only surveyed 100 people, and 60 of them, that's over half. Over half. No, it's shock. I mean, to be honest, it's a shock to me. I honestly believe that would be an inverted number, and maybe even not to that level.
See, and that
to me, I can picture it. But it's all different personalities, all different ideas, all different things.
And it takes all kinds. And you're in the kind of industry where you actually get to interact with people, which is what you love to do, and that's the important thing.
Yes, absolutely.
And this also shows.
I love to interact with people.
This also shows people.
While we host a podcast.
This also shows people if you just want to sit at home and work from home and be, be there rather than in an office, save some time on the commute. You can do that too, because that seems to be the case moving forward in for many businesses. You're over there texting, so that's. But
I'm doing the messaging to the people that are, because again, I send it all out via the Facebook Messenger. So as the people are here, I'm replying back to them and keeping things moving.
There you go. Rob Miller says,
but no, I'm listening to you.
So,
yeah.
So Rob, thanks for joining us, man. Happy to have you. And,
he's in here. Rob's watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there he is. Looking smooth tonight. I don't know if he's being. Rob, are you being serious?
He might be a little facetious.
Playing with our.
He might be having drinks with Mick. It's very possible.
Might be having drinks with Mick. You know what? Which one of us wouldn't rather be having drinks with Mick?
Hey, we've done the podcast for Mick's Basement, so
Yeah.
That speaks for itself right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's actually good we're doing this now because we need to hammer out this process because later this year you are going to be remote a majority of the time.
Almost all the time,
yeah.
But not next week.
Explain what next week is. Next week is going to be awesome.
Next week is St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Next Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day. It is almost as big of night as tonight, which is my mother's birthday.
Yeah.
Laura L. Lyons Black.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so it's almost the biggest party as that. And we're going to be celebrating at the Hofbrauhaus, and I think it's about time we do a beer stein holding competition.
We need another one of those. So everybody.
It's been a while.
Yep.
Everybody's watching. plan to be there next Wednesday night. We're going to go live at 7 p.m. We're going to be on time. We're going to launch at 7 p.m. We're going to wrap up our stuff. We're going to continue on the Instagram, which is what we're going to be talking about here in just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to be continuing on the Instagram next week from the podcast, and then we're going to go to the Underdog After Dark, which most of you guys should know who, what, and where that is already. You can come watch us at Underdog After Dark, and we are going to host the Beer Stein Holding Competition 2021 St. Patrick's Day at the Wunderhaus Columbus.
So for those of you who are local, you also need to come down to the Wunderhaus and have a beer with us. It's going to be an awesome.
For those of you that aren't local, you need to come down to Wunderhaus Columbus.
Well, that's true. Hey, look, get Shannon Black up here, get his whole crew. We can do some trash talking, and we can really turn this into a stompish.
Oh, let's see. I saved a picture today.
Oh, no.
I don't know where I put it.
Again, everybody listening, you're really in for a treat here when he pulls out this picture.
So he went fishing today.
Okay.
The guy who has accepted a challenge from us, the king, and the king and other king of
there you go.
Drunken Business Podcasts, on a fishing tournament, and he goes today. Where is it? All right, I'll just pull up. You know what? I'm gonna pull up his Facebook page right now.
Okay.
You got to see it. It's absolutely hilarious. It's great.
Okay, so describe the picture for us.
Well, the picture is right here. There he is, Shannon Black.
Is that? What is he holding up?
That is an itty bitty little teeny tiny fish.
Look, you know what? It takes a real man to show your tiny fish online.
No, he's going down. We're going to crush them. He doesn't have a prayer.
That's
little
awesome.
Tiny fish. He's toast. He should give up right now.
Yeah.
Literally should just give up right now and go, oh, you guys are the best. That's just how it should be.
We need to
look at now my delay's finally caught up. I can see what's going on.
We need to get serious about planning this thing, by the way, this competition.
Yes, because, absolutely.
We're going to do a fundraiser as well. So this is going to be a lot of work, but we're going to bury this guy. I feel bad for him.
Oh, we're going to bury him? Look at that. I could go to the sushi market down the street and get a bigger fish than that.
Go to Lake Erie. It's right there.
Lake Erie is right the road. So I was there a minute ago, and I wasn't too terribly far away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Cafe, or no, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and of course my beloved Cleveland Browns are up here too. So go for it.
There you go. Watch a game right there.
Well, it's wrong season, but yeah, a couple of years ago, we were about the same.
I never said football game. Catch soccer game?
I don't watch soccer.
I'm not even sure if it's soccer season. I'm just trying to think of a different sport.
I don't know what season. Does soccer have a season? I think they play that like year round. It's like golf. It's like, we can't play here. I'm gonna go to Australia.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of what else we're talking about tonight.
Meat and potatoes. All right, I'm done. I'm going to check off of the. If you haven't been invited yet, sorry, I'm just not going to get to you tonight. We're done. We're out of it. We're going over here to split this up, go over here, and we're on to Instagram and how to attract your first followers.
Right. So, we started talking about it last week, but last week we talked about, how to create your account, how to properly set it up for success. This week, we're going to talk about how to gain your first few hundred followers. And it's a lot easier than you think. It kind of has some old school tactics. And if you do it right and you're consistent with it, it can work a lot faster than you think it will, too. At this point, though, it's really important to remember, nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd, right? So you need to get followers before you can get your real good following. You need followers before you can get followers, right? It's like trying to get a job. You need experience before you can get a job that gives you experience. So
yes, absolutely.
And there are right ways and wrong ways to do this. And there was a time not so very long ago on social media where you could follow 500 to 1,000 people a day, and whoever followed you back, you kept, and everybody else you dumped, and you started all over again. Well, you saw this a lot in MySpace. People had 10 million friends on MySpace and didn't know a single one of them. The algorithms on the social media platforms have gotten a lot smarter since then. So the follow for follow strategy though still works if you do it correctly, and correctly is the key point. So, did you ever do that, Dave? You ever have MySpace?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love MySpace. I wish it would go back. I mean, MySpace is still around, but it's actually a musical platform right now.
Right, that's a real.
And I wish it went back to the original MySpace. I would give up Facebook. No offense to Facebook, who is hosting all of our stuff right now, but I would go back to Facebook in a heartbeat. I'm sorry. Go back to MySpace. I'm sorry, MySpace in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it was it was an interesting platform because it was so your profile was so customizable. You can make it different colors. You could actually add like Flash video games like Pac-Man and stuff to your front page of your profile. I thought stuff like that was really cool. But
it was nothing better than having your buddy log onto your page at 2 o'clock in the morning and you just blast them with Master of Puppets.
Right, there you go. So,
yeah, I mean, it was great.
I would really love to be a fly on the wall of the current, board or executive team who's deciding where MySpace is going. You think they're just hanging on to it to sell the IP to somebody else later down the road who's going to cash in on the nostalgia? I like your beer collection.
You know what? Anybody who would just cash in on nostalgia, if you don't utilize it, it's not worth anything. Because if you were to bring it back,
you're right.
It would be bigger than Facebook.
Because if
you were to bring it back, it would be bigger than Facebook right now.
And you're right. And here's the thing about that is if somebody were to cash in on the nostalgia now, change MySpace back into a really good, viable social media platform.
Social media platform, yeah.
They would get the nostalgia points from all of the, boomers, essentially. Everybody, 30 to 50. And
that is not a boomer.
You know what I mean? People who a teenager says, okay, boomer, and they're talking to a 25-year-old. You know what I mean? They're going to get the nostalgia points from literally everybody who was on MySpace back in the day.
Oh yeah, I'm all over it. And even more shockingly, I believe that the kids that would scream boomer would be more into it than the rest of us. Right. They'd be like, "Oh my Lord, fully customizable. I can express myself fully on this platform from the moment somebody steps foot on my page. It's everything I care about."
Right. And this whole music platform thing they have going on here doesn't make sense because there are much better platforms out there.
Matt Harmon would like to inform us that he has made a boomer.
He's made a boomer.
I believe he is referencing a bowel movement.
And this is why we don't talk to Matt Harmon online.
And that's why we don't talk to Matt Harmon. He yelled at me today. He called me today. I was in a meeting. I couldn't get to him today. He yelled at me today about not answering his phone calls.
Oh, he's stopped.
Sorry, dude.
He's already stopped.
Sorry, dude. I was in a meeting.
Now he texts me to complain about you not answering his phone calls.
All right, Bob.
Exactly. We're not going there.
Oh, I can't wait to see the message he pops up for that one.
But
yeah, but no, I agree, man. Whoever's holding MySpace, please do us the favor of giving us old MySpace. I want to be able to put a code on, throw my Buckeye stuff up, some Cleveland Browns logos and stuff. Let us cycle through and blast some great music. And it's about me. That's where you can express yourself fully. It was a phenomenal thing. It would be bigger today. It would literally put Facebook out of business. Not out of business.
They have a window of time where the nostalgia points are going to start to dwindle off. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The customizable features on MySpace were actually pretty cool.
Yes. And technology has shortened that window.
It has. You're right.
For those who remember, all right, well, you know what? Boomers. For the boomers area, the actual real boomers, their nostalgia period is going to be much greater for their world. And as the years go by and technology comes through, it's changing and it's evolving so quickly. We'll get back to the Instagram here in a moment, but it's changing so quickly that the window has shrunk so much that you don't have a decade to play.
Right.
If you're going to strike, you have to strike now. You only have a small window. Hit it.
Well, look how quickly these really popular social platforms can pop up out of nowhere. Look at TikTok. It used to be Musical.ly, then it became TikTok. I think it was something else in between. But it for most people popped up out of nowhere. Look at Clubhouse. Clubhouse
I
came
don't know. I've
from.
heard of TikTok. I don't do the TikTok, but I don't know anything at all about Clubhouse. Go on. You know what? How far off of the topic are we
Instagram.
to the Instagram? Yeah.
Pretty far off.
All right. And we're getting back on the freeway. Hey, it's a pretty old strategy, but the follow for follow strategy still works. I think that's about where we left off.
There you go. So
and back on track.
Let's dedicate a whole show to different social media platforms.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should.
That'll be a good show.
But let's try to get this thing on here. Last week we talked about time management, and we showed everybody how not to do that.
Right.
So
we're not doing a great job.
That has been our MO. You don't watch this show because you're like, and here's for everybody who, and we get a couple people come up and say, man, you guys go off on a lot of tangents and things like that. And we say, we can bore you to tears. You have no idea how geeky the two of us can get.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing you business analytics.
When we get into
Between the two of us, we will make you cry. We will hurt your brain.
We'll put you to sleep at least. Yes,
we do it this way on purpose because we are different than every other business podcast out there. We at least try to be entertaining as absolutely as much as possible, and we push hard to keep it in the entertainment realm with a side of education on business.
Yes,
so, but tonight let's get over to the Instagram here.
So your first trick. I say trick, tip, tactic, a lot of T's. Your first trick you can do is the follow for follow. It still works if you do it correctly. One of the reasons you don't want to just spam people with follows and hope they follow you back is unless you're thoughtful and strategic about it. Even if people do follow you back, they're not going to be the right people. You want to attract the right people. So
yes.
I'm not sure if you're aware of the idea of 1,000 true fans. The idea is you should.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, we have. The idea is you should always go for your true fans, people who really want to connect with you and are willing to engage with you. If you have 1,000 people who are your true fans, who truly love you, that is infinitely more valuable than 1 million people, 10 million people who don't want to engage with you. What's the point of them? They're not doing you any good. And in fact, they can actually hurt you with algorithms on social media because they're not engaging. They look like they're spam bots. They look like you purchased these, and it's not going to help you in the long run. So what you want to do is you want to attract the right people. How do you do that?
Ken Blanchard and Sheldon Bowles. Now, I've had this book for a long time. I actually don't even know where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But it is called Raving Fans.
Mm-hmm.
You are not trying to get satisfied customers. You are trying to create raving fans.
Right.
So that's a book. We will try to drop a link to it down in the description or wherever it goes in here. I don't handle that. West handles that end of it. To raving fans. I've read it probably 10 times. It's a great read. It's a great go through, and it really teaches you the difference of having just to put it in the terms that we have right here, a follower and a fan.
Mm-hmm.
We want the fan. Yeah, we can have a follower. It's not bad to have a follower in all cases, but if all you have are followers, that's not going to help you. You need fans. You need raving fans.
Yeah,
and that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we want you to get.
Absolutely. So, you might be asking yourself, how do I get these people? How do I attract the right people? How do I know who I want to try the follow for follow tactic with? And before you do this, you should know, there's only a small percentage of people who will follow you back. But the rule of reciprocity says a certain percentage absolutely will follow you back. And that's what you want, at least at first when you start doing this tactic to get your first few hundred followers. So, a couple ways you can do this. We all have those people on. Let's focus on Instagram because that's really what we're talking about. But any social,
we're really trying to push on Instagram, and we have some other things to go over later too.
But this tactic really works with most social platforms. But Instagram specifically, we all have those people who are kind of where we want to be. People who are saying kind of the same thing that we want to say, who are posting very similar, content that we produce, but they have a much bigger following because they've been doing this longer, frankly, and they probably have a team to help them at this point. Well, some things you can do. One thing you can do is actually, go to their account, and in the 3 dots next to their, on their account there, make sure you're getting alerts for when they post something. And what you can do is, every time their account posts some content, you make sure you're the first one on there. You leave the first comment, a thoughtful, nice, thought-provoking comment on their piece of content. And what that's going to do is, over a period of time, people who follow them on a regular basis will see you as the first comment over and over and over again. And since you're the first one, chances are you're more likely to get a response back from the original poster. Meaning, people who then want to go in and leave comments see that the original poster left a comment on your comment. And it'll keep your comment closer to the top, so then you look like more of an authority, you look like more closer to an equal to that original poster, which is really what you want, because you want these people saying, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. They're more likely then to go to your account and follow you because of that. That's one way. The second thing you can do is, these accounts that you follow, the ones that you really like, they probably get hundreds, maybe even thousands of comments. And there's no way they can respond to all of them. Well, what you can do is, you can go in and you can start responding to comments on somebody else's post. And make sure they're thought-provoking, nice, thoughtful, personal comments. And
wait a minute. Does that establish you as an expert on the field?
Absolutely it does.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Algorithm.
So what that does is it shows these people that you are helpful, you're an expert on the subject, and you are somebody that they can count on for the answers they're looking for. In addition, the original poster will also see that you're engaging in their content, and then when you eventually reach out to them for a collaboration, something like that, maybe an interview, they're more likely to want to engage with you because they've seen you before. You've built a personal brand online that they now recognize.
All right. Who's we had a guy on Zach Scriven.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy named Zach Scriven. Now, when he came on with us, his first response was like, "Oh wow, you're all," and it was actually before I think the public got to hear him. Loved our background.
Mm-hmm.
Have you taken a look at his background lately?
Zach Scriven's background?
Yeah, Zach Scriven's background. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's a lot of the, we had all the techie stuff behind us.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that now.
Okay. Hey, we're
a lot like that now.
We're trendsetting.
And it looks good. So what's going on behind you, which is one of the reasons I was trying to look ago, take a look and see if it was worthwhile opening my window to see if you guys could see out of it. What's going on behind you matters. Certain things, what's happening matters. So if you're having a podcast or a video where you're chit-chatting and things like that, what's going on behind you matters. A fake background is not helping you. A real background,
when you're doing
Wes
videos
has right there in the background of Wes, I got a curtain, so I don't. This is a great. This is a great. Comparison video of backgrounds. I've got a curtain in my hotel room, and I can take my camera and flip it around, but you're going to see a messy bed and a book bag and a suitcase. There's nothing here, but what's going on around you and how the appearance of it is really does matter. Oh, really, really does.
Oh, absolutely. We will do a future episode on how to create a good background, how to create a good lighting situation, because I also do have I have lights set up to create these different things. I have stuff going on in the background, and so we actually should do a show on creating a background and how to make a good setup for a video when you start to do these things. And we'll add that to our YouTube conversation when we start doing that.
And when we build the one, when I get the new house over in New York or wherever I end up moving,
studio, that's right.
Then when we build that, we should record and document that and put it out there too, so people can see.
Yeah, no, we're gonna build you a sweet studio. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be a lot.
Wicked.
So, but I have a pro tip for everybody who wants to make the best connections online. And this is something that you may not hear a lot of people talk about, but you can leave an audio or a video message in somebody's DMs. And it takes 30 seconds, just something real quick. You can just hold your phone out in front of you, Just say, "Hey, John, thanks for following me. I really appreciate it. I hope we get a chance to work together in the future." Something like that. Takes 30 seconds to record these things, and everybody you leave one of these video messages for is going to be so impressed that they are going to start following you because you took the time out of your day to give them a personal message. That's great for LinkedIn. That's great for Instagram. Great for Facebook. I mean, this works wonders. And if you do that look, take an hour out of your day and do this for 50 people a day. Within a month, you are going to see some massive, massive growth. It's going to be amazing what you're going to see happen.
I know we have a couple of viewers out there who really want to listen to us, and they talk about wanting to grow their Instagram, YouTube presence, Facebook presence. A couple actual people that have, I'm going to use the term offline business. I don't know if that's an official business term of it, but it now is. So, of course, when we have an official business term, what do we have to do? We have to drink.
Right.
So on these offline businesses, the people call up and ask us. So one of the things I'm actually curious about is, after last week, did you keep a timesheet? We brought up multiple things about keeping a timesheet. Now, timesheet should be something that doesn't go away. The timesheet lives regardless of what you're doing. How much time are you dedicating to your? I can use the word business. I can use the word job, but the word I'm going to use is future. The word I want to use is future. How much time are you dedicating to your future? If that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy, that's how you want to do it. How much time are you dedicating to it? Take out your timesheet. What did you do last week? It's been 7 days since we've launched it.
Yeah.
How much time did you spend right there? How much time did you spend doing it?
Yeah. And I mean, really, I recommend at the very least for 30 days, somebody keep track of every hour that you spend during the day and actually audit all of your time. Because when you come afterwards and say, "Oh, I don't have time to do this, that I really want to do it, but I don't have time." Well, you're going to see, "Oh, I spent, 5 hours watching, binge watching reruns of Lost," or whatever the kids are these days.
Yes, which is why we told you not only to log your business stuff, log your
every hour.
I got my 9 to 5,
everything you do,
and then I made dinner. You know what? Write your making of the dinner. We got the ladies out there. I know my wife is one of them who looked into it. If you're making dinner, you know what? Put it on there. If you're a guy and you're doing cookout, put it on your timesheet.
Yeah.
Put it on there, and then actually take a look after a few weeks and start putting it together to see how many hours you have. And if I spent 15 hours over the past 2 weeks playing Forza, which again is a game that I could easily spend 15 hours playing. Luckily, I really restrict myself. I don't think I've actually played in probably a year now.
4 hours.
But it's something that you could those things that you're like, oh, your brain goes numb. That's why your business is not growing.
It's true. It's for years, I would tell myself, I really want to do this. I want to do that. I don't have the time. Well, when you look at the time that you spend doing something else, you got the time.
You chose Seinfeld over financial success and personal happiness.
It's true. I have watched a lot of Seinfeld.
I like Seinfeld as well. I like How I Met Your Mother. I like The Big Bang Theory. But I don't want to put. When you start looking at the timesheet, you're going to realize, oh, wait a minute. Do I really want these in front of financial stableness?
Right.
And self-fulfillment.
100%. 100%. And by the way, leave a comment and thumbs up, follow, like, share.
Yeah.
If you like Seinfeld. If you like Seinfeld, let us know about it because we want to know who else.
And if you don't like Seinfeld, do the same thing.
And if you hate Seinfeld, do the same thing. Tell us you hate Seinfeld and tell us why. And we will totally answer your questions about Seinfeld.
All right.
So, something else you can do is you can set quotas for yourself on social media for engagement because engagement is key. Engagement is your key to growth, 100%. Now, this is in addition to your daily, weekly posts that you need to be doing because consistency is what the algorithms really look for. But what you can also do is you can say, I want 10 pieces of solid engagement a day. So what you should do is find 10 posts and actually really engage with them every single day. Go into 10 different posts, leave a nice, thought-provoking comment that other people are then going to see every single day, in addition to your normal posts, because that's going to tell the algorithm that you are not only creating and causing further engagement on the platform, but you're keeping people on their platform longer. I had a conversation earlier today with somebody, and I let them know that, look, no matter how the algorithms change, no matter what the platforms do that's different, every single social media platform, Instagram included, has one job. That is to keep you on their platform longer so that they can show you more paid ads. That's their number one job.
Yep.
So, two things.
And we went over this. We went over this a couple weeks ago when we were going over the clickbait part of the world about how it is, and we talked to you guys about impressions and the items that what basically these advertisers are paying to do this. So the idea is to keep you on their platform, getting their advertisements. Now, those are impressions and those are video interruptions as well. Same premise. It's what their job is.
Yeah, absolutely. So two things that you need to keep in mind at all times, no matter how the algorithm changes. As long as you keep these things in mind, you're going to be successful. One, how do you keep people on the platform longer? And two, how do you get them to engage more? And engagement is going to be a comment, a like, or a follow / subscribe, depending on what platform you're on. As long as you can keep those things in mind and how to drive those things further, it doesn't really matter what the algorithm is doing over here. It does, but look, don't get into the weeds. How do you keep people on the platform longer? That's your number one goal.
What's the term Occam's razor? The simplest solution is usually the best.
Yeah, it's true.
We can take you down all these other pathways, all these other side streets, but in reality, the simplest solution is the best. Now, we're going to strip away a little bit of that and say the simplest reason is the most accurate. There are many reasons why they want to keep you on this and do this. I mean, they are data mining you nonstop.
But we all know that.
And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. You want them to do that data mining because you want things that are sent to you that are relevant to you. They want to sell you things and put things on there that are relevant to you, and the marketers who are actually fronting the money. And I've always told you, follow the money. Always.
It's true.
Follow the money, and always the person who is bringing the money to the table, and in this case, it's advertising, things like that. Those are the people that really matter. So those are the people you try to keep happy. So if you don't like this or you don't like that, and we can't tell you enough, stay away from politics. Stay away from it.
It's one of those situation
items. Yes, that will just run advertisement stuff. People go, the advertisers say, I do not want to be put on a channel. And when I say channel, it's not a Facebook channel or a YouTube or anything. They don't want to be put in a video or podcast or anything that is this way because they run the risk of alienating 50% of the population out the gate.
Right. Now, I will make an addendum to what I say, though, is stay away from politics unless your business is politics.
Unless your business policy. And one of these days, when the two of us, we have to be together for this. This is definitely not a remote podcast. We will do a political business podcast. We are not going to talk to you about politics. We are going to talk to you about the business of politics, which will run you up against politics, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. But that will be a one-off thing, and we're gonna go through some of the nuances that are on there, and some of the rules that we have taught you are completely flipped on their head. And you want to be as polarizing as possible, and we'll get into that on that time, because again, you've got marketers. Again, you got to look at who's bringing the money to the table.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's bringing the money to the table is not me. It's not West. It's not. It's at this point. It's not even really you. It is the people who are spending their advertising dollars.
Right.
They're trying to get you, the viewer, to bring money to the table. But right now, at this point, the only person that's bringing money to the table is the advertisers. And that's the guy we're looking at. So maybe they want somebody who is full this way or full that way, or they want somebody that plays 30% of this side and 30% of that side and bridges the middle. Right. So
yeah, and that'll be a whole show on its own because there's a lot to cover there.
That'll probably be 5 shows in its own.
There's a lot to cover there.
Actually, I think we can bring it down to 3.
So, but we actually have a lot more to cover in future episodes on Instagram as well. So one of the things that I think we were going to cover, I think we should postpone because we're at an hour now, is actually showing accounts.
We started late.
Well, so there's a lot to cover with actually showing the accounts that we're creating that we want to build up.
Yes, absolutely.
So next week, what we're going to do.
But we did get the live version of the American Garage Club is up and running.
Is it posted?
The Instagram account created today. We can go on it tonight and get it all set. I had my lovely wife set it up for me because again I was
What's it
occupied
called?
with a business meeting.
What's it called?
American Garage Club. I'm launching Instagram over here. It does a thing. I want to continue as me so we can look at it from
Here we go.
From an outsider's
Okay,
perspective.
so you can't see this, David, but they can see here that I'm on American Garage Club, all one word, on Instagram. It's 0 posts, 0 followers, 0 following. And what we're going to do is that is one of the accounts that we're going to build up from 0 using the tactics that we're showing you tonight. So I'm going to follow you right now. I'm going to be your first follower. Done. What I'm going to do here is you're also going to see me set up notifications so I receive a notification on my phone whenever you post something. So I'm going to set up notifications. I want a notification when you post something.
That's right.
Your stories.
That's right. The followers we have right now is the Underdog Journey.
There you go. And IGTV. This is how simple it is to set up these notifications. So whenever you want to be the first poster on any piece of content, this is how you do it. Huge personalities. Your favorite celebrity. You can do this, and you can be the first commenter on every single one of their posts. So this is how you do it, right there. So every time American Garage Club posts anything, I will receive a notification letting me know when that happens. So this is one of the accounts. We're actually going to show you several accounts in these different niches. This is a car niche, obviously. So this is going to be a really certain type of person who has really specific tastes and specific needs on social media. And another one that I'm going to show you is, you know what, I'll actually show you the Underdog Journey. This is going to be another one of them. So this is the Underdog Journey.
We've showed mine out there too, where I have very little, but there are people that follow me.
Yeah. So we're showing the case studies right now, the ones we're actually going to use as case studies. So American Garage Club is one.
Yeah.
And that is one really tight niche. That's going to be one to follow. I think there's going to be a lot of success there. The other one here is the Underdog Journey. This shows Instagram right here.
Hey, we got a frowny face.
Is it my mom?
Clicked a lot of buttons and sent us a frowny face.
My mom has left frowny.
Is your mom back online?
It's very possible. So right here you can see that we have 19 posts, 58 followers, and 169 following. So you are actually going to see this grow pretty significantly. However, this niche is the marketing and business niche, which is pretty competitive. So this is going to see growth, but not nearly as much growth as one of the tighter niches that you're going to see.
Niches get stitches.
Niches get stitches. There you go. Another one that I'm going to show you here, which is one of my favorite examples. I love this one for a few reasons.
Okay.
Is an account that I created called Formicology. And
Oh, I love pharmacology.
one of the reasons I like showing this is because you can see that I have 0 posts. David, you can't see this. I'm actually showing the screens here for my phone.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll catch up to it because I'll see it on the delay.
I have 0 posts, but since this is such a tight niche, since I created this account, I have 99 followers, and I'm only following 33 people. That means people went out of their way to follow accounts in this niche, even if they had 0 posts. I have a feeling this account's going to do very well. Just from
I believe so, and we've talked about earlier about the inverted pyramid basically niching down to narrow your audience because the more niched, the more specific you get,
yeah.
the happier the algorithm is going to be. Basically, if anybody, all right, this is that time when you guys are like, man, you guys should be more serious. Here you go. The number of wild cards that are in a algorithm. A wild card meaning it is an asterisk symbol, or an @ sign, depending on what program format that you're looking at. That means whatever that value is, we are going to ignore that value. The algorithm does not like wild cards. It does not like the octotroph. It does not like the asterisk sign. They want full-blown mathematical equations. So the less asterisks or wild cards, which in Boolean algebra and certain programming algorithms, you will see they utilize these. So the less of those you can get, the more precise the right-hand side of the equals mark, which is the right-hand side or the output side of the algorithm, can be. So the better input, the more specific output. Meaning that if 110 plus 110 plus 110, and we have all of these 110s equal a 110, meaning that you are falling into this and you are the output. It's a little tough to wrap your head around sometimes, but you are the output. If you are the 110, if 110 equals 110 equals 110, and then over here you are the output of the thing and you fall solidly in 110, that algorithm is going to be far happier to send you this. It knows now that you working backwards equal this, or working forwards, this equals you. I told you we could completely nerd out on this, and if you give me a whiteboard, I will put you all to sleep.
We will get a whiteboard. So to take us out of the idea of talking people through Boolean algebra, we'll put it in a little different terms here. It kind of goes back to the idea of the 1,000 true followers. When you have a really tight niche, you're speaking to people who are interested in that specific topic. You're not interested in somebody who is just blanket following everybody, hoping people follow back. You're actually talking to people who only want to know about cars or only want to know about
pharmacology.
Yeah. Pharmacology is not a word. It's actually...
I know. I love saying it, though, because eventually, because we say it so much, the algorithm is going to eventually pick it up and create it.
The hashtag already exists. It's actually already a thing. But it's going to be a much bigger thing. This niche is going to perform really well. And we're going to show you, let's see, we're going to show you one more. You know what? We're going to show you, here's an account that I've kind of been playing with different ideas that I wanted to go with. And I think this one is going to do, this might be a wild card because I don't know how well this is going to perform. I know this type of YouTube channel does really well, and it's really low maintenance, which is why I'm interested to play with it. And this is an Instagram account called Pilgrimology. Now, I'm still playing with the description and whatnot, but basically, this is going to focus around, and again, look, there are already 7 followers. I didn't do anything. I followed 10 people, already has 7 followers. But when I build the YouTube channel for this YouTube channel is basically going to be sort of soft listening Zen music set to a nice background, used for yoga and relaxation purposes. It's going to be all completely open, free to use music. Yep, free to use music, free to use imagery. And I've seen channels like this that are super, super low maintenance, perform really, really well. So I'm gonna create that YouTube channel. I'm gonna have the Instagram account that goes along with it, and we're gonna see how well that does. Because I have a feeling over a period of time that channel could do well also, with almost no work involved. It's gonna be really interesting to see how that grows. So, I understand that your son is going to be involved in the American Garage Club Instagram account. So,
yes,
when he's not posting on a regular basis, I know who to contact to say, "Hey, Noah, chop chop."
Yes, Noah is actually going to be in charge of the Instagram account for the American Garage Club.
Right. And how old is he?
16, so it should be right up his wheelhouse.
Well, not only that, that he's 16. So, all you people out there who are, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, you have no excuses.
55 now, 55 now, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 and a half, 55 and a half, 55, 70, 75, 75, 75. We got 75 now, 75, 85. Oh, I'm sorry,
actually would have been great. You'd have been a great auctioneer. You actually would have. I would have been a terrible auctioneer. I'd be like, yeah, we got 5 over here. We got, when you scratch your nose. All right.
The key is you have to be willing to look like an absolute fool in front of everyone.
I think we already do that.
Yeah, that's why
we're
I
well
do all right.
We missed our calling as auctioneers.
Yes.
Now, imagine you and I drinking.
Yes, that's what he said.
As auctioneers.
$5.
Yeah, we'd be up there just goofing off. Nobody knows what they're buying.
Hey, congratulations, $25 million. He brought a brand new bottle of Fiji water, direct imported from Walmart in Canton, Ohio.
So, we should actually do an episode, speaking of paying ridiculous amounts of money for things that likely don't matter one bit. This might be taboo to say at this point because it's so popular. We need to do an episode on NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You know about these?
I'm sorry. What was the F word?
Fungible.
Fungible.
Non-fungible tokens. Yes.
Fungible.
So here's your homework. After this, go and Google.
I did not get this on the Reading Rainbow.
This is you didn't get the fungible. So here's what we're gonna do.
All right. So tell us about non-fungibles.
Okay, so you got my Google here. You can see my Googles. You can't see my Googles. We're actually going to go in.
I'll see it in a minute.
And we're going to talk about NFTs. And it's really hard to describe. So we're going to have to do a lot more homework. So it's a non-fungible token. A non-fungible token is a special type of cryptographic token which represents something unique. NFTs are called non-fungible because they are not mutually interchangeable, since they contain a unique information, although it is possible to mint any number of NFTs representing the same object. Right, so there's some really weird things happening in the cryptocurrency world right now, specifically NFTs. So that's going to be a really interesting, mind-bending show, because even for people who know tech, it's a weird, confusing subject. This is the first you're hearing about it? So
a little bit, yeah. I've seen a couple of them, and it's really only because of you.
Right. So
I'm texting people, and I'm messaging people back right now that I sent messages out to earlier.
So the funny thing about NFTs is you can buy pieces of technology history, but I'm not sure how you actually own the technology itself. For instance, here's a for instance. Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, is selling his first tweet. He's selling his first tweet as an NFC, and he's donating all the money to charity. How do you actually own that tweet? Do you own the copyright to the content within that tweet? Does Twitter somehow... They're not removing it from their platform and giving it to you. There's nothing. It doesn't work that way. That's how technology works.
So when you tweet, do you own that tweet?
They own the tweet. So the NBA actually has a site dedicated, and we'll look this up and show you later, where you can actually own video clips of memorable NBA moments from history. Now, do you actually own the copyright to that video? So if somebody wants to use that video in the future, they have to pay you? I don't know. It doesn't really go into detail like that. But somehow you own this video clip, and you own that tweet, and you own this weird little. You could buy little digital images that for some reason are unique to this token, but somebody could easily reproduce them. It's just a JPEG. So NFTs are really interesting. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people losing a lot of money very soon on this. But it's cryptocurrency is doing a lot of really interesting things that I think a lot of people need to know about. He's still reading about NFTs.
I'm literally. It stands for non-fungible token.
Yeah.
Non-fungible token, meaning you can't exchange it for another thing of equal value. A $10 bill can be exchanged for two $5 bills. One gold bar can be swapped for another bar of gold of the same size. Those things are fungible. An NFT is one of a kind.
Right.
Yes, I'm literally over here reading about NFTs.
So, I understand with cryptocurrency, for every Bitcoin or fraction of a Bitcoin or, whatever your cryptocurrency of choice happens to be, you do have a very specific code representing that piece of digital currency, right?
I get it.
Now, how that relates to a JPEG, I'm still not 100% sure how that protects your JPEG.
Yeah.
Other than maybe you own the trademark on it.
You and I both know people that are all about the crypto stuff and all about the cryptocurrency. Yeah. And here's my voice. Here's my voice on this, and this is the end all be all. You don't have to listen to anybody else. Yeah. No financial experts. Don't listen to them. Listen to David.
Bunch of losers.
Don't listen to life coaches. Listen to David. Money is only valuable when you spend it. That is its only value. It is worth zero.
Yeah.
Whether it is a dollar bill, whether it is a gold bar, whether it is cryptocurrency, it doesn't matter. It's only valuable when you spend it. When somebody is willing to exchange another product, another item, another something, minutes of my day, hours of my life that I exchange for certain amounts of compensation.
Mm-hmm.
That's its only time it has value. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be seashells, and it could be dollars. It could be retirement time. It could be vacation. It could be all of these things. Cryptocurrency, it strikes me, and I know some people will actually hate me for saying this, but it's nothing new. It is absolutely nothing new.
Right.
But yes, we've moved into the digital age with it. But guess what? Every electrician, every plumber, every HVAC guy, every money market manager who has come over to their neighbor's house and done something for them, and then their neighbor gave them has done something for your cryptocurrency.
Right.
Yes, I get it. It's a slight bit different. You have a pseudo-tangible item that you can possibly negotiate at a future time for instance. It doesn't matter till it's spent.
Well, you're right. So and that goes back to the old argument of supply and demand. It goes back to
exactly
the understanding of, like you said, something's only worth what somebody else is willing to pay for it. That's why you'll have a comic book that's worth.
You have a collection of precious moments. Does your wife have a collection of precious moments?
No comment.
Does your cousin have a collection? Does your cousin have a selection of the TY Beanie Babies? Does your third niece, once removed, have a collection of McDonald's toys from the 1980s? Who says these are worth $1 million?
But there's always
only when they sell them.
You shouldn't build your nest egg on hope, but there's still always the hope that one of those pieces of weird collectibles is going to be worth money one day. And some prime examples.
Only when you sell them.
Well, only when the demand goes up, and then it can be considered an investment. For instance, people who are actually making investments in comic books or actually investments in Pokemon cards. Now, again, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. So when you buy a $10,000, baseball card. You're hoping that it goes up in value. It might not, but all the experts.
You are desperately hoping that they don't reprint 10 million of those exact baseball cards.
Right.
Then there's literally absolutely nothing stopping Pokemon card, baseball card, collectibles, all things. Absolutely nothing stopping them from launching it right now. Because I guarantee you, in 20 years, nobody's going to be able to tell the difference between what they launched now and what they launched 20 years ago.
You're right. And,
carbon dating is not that accurate.
I've often wondered why there isn't a factory someplace in rural China, or some country where there's less
Central Ohio,
or some country where there's less oversight, where they can actually go in and counterfeit things like cards or memorabilia to really precise degrees, and then leak these out onto the market and sell them for massive amounts of money. And then when the market's saturated with these identical copies of the original,
we have moved out of helping you. We have moved out of helping you build your Instagram into something that this is how this podcast began. This is literally how this podcast began, because you and I sit there going, so if you are out there, you don't leak them out slowly. You sell them at the high value. And then after you put 10 of them out there, guess what? That value drops a little bit. And then you keep releasing them. And then guess what? You have captured the sell price of this on its decline. So the first one you sold was worth, oh my Lord, a lot of money. But then as every one of them every one of them you sold, it came in lower and lower and lower and lower. Until the people who are holding these going, these are excellent investments. Now they're worthless.
But then you can move on to something else and print something completely unrelated.
Exactly. Then you move over to the TY Beanie Baby. Then you move over to the McDonald's, the Happy Meal toys, which shockingly has a huge following, by the way.
Believe me.
You move on to we have told you this many times, niche down.
Still true.
Niche down, trust me, it's there. If you're trying to build your business, niche down. You're trying to corner the market with fakes, niche down. There's a reason why there are fake, I'm going to mess this name up, Louis Vuitton purses and handbags.
Louis Vuitton? Did you say Louis Vuitton?
Vuitton, yeah.
Louis Vuitton.
The French guy.
Louis, yeah.
That one.
King Louis Vuitton.
Yes, that one. There's a reason why there's fake purses of those and not Tommy Hilfiger.
You're right.
Now there used to be a lot of fake Tommy Hilfiger shirts. That used to be where the market was. That's gone. You know what? Let me be a better one. There's fake, what'd you call it? Louis Vuitton?
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton, there's not a fake leather handbag of Levi.
That's true. You're not wrong.
There's not. People will pay, let's say that purse is, I'm literally making numbers up, $1,000. The fake one goes for $250. But the Levi goes, which is actually the best buy, at $25.
Mm-hmm.
But people will walk by the Levi, the real authentic Levi, to buy the fake Louis Vuitton at $250 because they just saved $750.
There you go. So
one is only worth anything when you spend it.
But here is
period.
To get slightly to backtrack a little bit with the cryptocurrency, though, right? Here's the difference. Yeah. You can't fake.
This has everything to do with Instagram.
You can't. Right. Well, a little bit of a tangent. You can't fake a Bitcoin.
A little bit of a tangent.
You can't fake cryptocurrency. That piece of data that you own that represents that bit of a Bitcoin is completely unique. And here's the thing. It's still only worth
1%.
I get it, right? So, but here's the interesting thing about cryptocurrency. If you have the software and you have a node, you can we can't hear you anyway. You can do what's called mining. You can do what's called crypto mining, where you can actually produce Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency you happen to desire. Yeah. You can actually produce these. However, back in the day, you could get a couple of desktop computers run them together in tandem, and you could crank these things out all day. However, every time a Bitcoin is produced, and every time the chain grows with transactions and whatnot, it becomes a little bit more difficult. It takes a little bit more time, a little more processing power to then produce the next part of that chain to create more Bitcoin. And it's starting to reach the tipping point. I know you got a comment on the tip of your tongue. Hang on. I know it's starting to reach the tipping point to where it's actually more expensive to produce Bitcoins, new Bitcoins, than they're actually worth. And that is the scarcity part of why Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as long as they don't keep creating new ones and new ones and new ones, are going to maintain their value.
I'm going to skip over my comment on crypto and all that, just to go to the fact that you brought up scarcity.
What's wrong with me bringing up scarcity?
It's people don't talk about it. People don't think about it. It's just, you know what? That's a podcast or two in and of itself.
It is.
To teach you the full idea or ideal of the scarcity of Bitcoin and or other cryptocurrencies. You know what? And or the U.S. dollar and or the Japanese yen, or and on and on and on and on. The ruble, even.
Right.
Or there's the ruble. There's a rupee.
There is a rupee. You're right. So and
yes,
and it's funny.
We went old school German, or I'm sorry, old school Russian to Indian.
There you go.
So.
But I'm glad you brought up, since we're talking about cryptocurrency, which has nothing to do with Instagram, obviously. I'm glad you brought up traditional currencies, because whereas traditional currencies, you can always print more. The United States isn't on the gold standard anymore, which is why inflation happens, right? That's one of the reasons inflation happens.
I'm sorry, have you looked at Venezuela lately?
You're right.
They are the textbook of how. Wait, no, they're not.
Well, hang on. So you can always print more currency. You can't print more Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is actually going to maintain its value. That's why these other cryptocurrencies that are being managed correctly are going to maintain their value over fiat currencies.
Do you think it is a?
Oh, by the way, Rob Miller said, nice content tonight, guys, and
I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
We really do appreciate it. Again, we built this to help you guys build businesses and do all this stuff. But the core reason behind our podcast was, this is what we do when we're out just having, and it doesn't have to be beer, it doesn't have to be alcohol at all. We can literally, Wes and I can be literally having a lemonade, and this is the type of conversation.
This is what we talk about. Nerds.
This is what we talk about.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, there were two huge launches late last year, third quarter last year. It was from Sony and it was from Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
The two of those constitute the largest by far between the two of them. Now, Nintendo has a huge market share as well of video gaming, console video gaming. One of the things that people don't understand, and even now, I don't have either one of the new systems, and typically I would have bought both of them the night of their launch.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it this time. Do you know why I don't think I can do it this time? Now, I have absolutely no evidence to support this, but I guarantee you with 100% of my certainty, which is actually pretty good, the reason why.
If I had to guess,
because the video cards used to run these are being served to mine cryptocurrency.
I didn't know that. Are they?
The companies that build the video cards for this, NVIDIA is one of the hugest, one of the largest providers. If you don't have an NVIDIA chipset running your video card, are you really even running a video card? No, you're not. So these video cards are being utilized. So these things are flying off the shelves like crazy for mining equipment. Whereas, all right, yeah, I'm selling X amount of them to Xbox or Microsoft, which, I know you guys would scoff at me going, oh, they're nobody. But when Microsoft wants to buy 100,000 of them and miners want to buy 100 million of them,
right?
Who do you want to do business with?
That tells you something.
Those people are going to pay, and Microsoft has negotiated down to get your product.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not even go into component scarcity over 2020 to early 2021. It has not fully recovered. There is absolutely a component scarcity right now, mainly because these products are being bought by people who will pay a premium for them to put them in their cards so that people can use them for mining equipment. Right. It is one of the largest markets in the tech business right now. A lot of people want to blame Tesla. A lot of people want to blame Tesla. A lot of people want to blame the battery car, mm-hmm. the electro car, what's the things? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tesla's the big one, so that's what people want. That's the name that comes around the most. But when you strip away everything else, Tesla is still negotiating down the price of the device, mm-hmm. where these other people that are mining this equipment are negotiating up the price. I will pay 15 to 30 points above your selling price to get this product now.
You're right.
Now.
You're right. And here's something that I don't think a lot of people have considered, and maybe it doesn't really matter to most people, is do you honestly believe that these companies on the back end aren't producing these things so they can set up their own server farms to mine as much of this as possible?
I absolutely believe that there's somewhere there is 20 million Xbox One X series, Black Series, or whatever it is they call themselves this time, back there just freaking mining.
Look, this might sound like a conspiracy theory, but can you
doing their thing?
This might sound like a conspiracy theory, but can you imagine there aren't governments doing the same thing? Do you think the Chinese government or the U.S. government in some back-end warehouse don't have a million supercomputers running on these same chipsets to mine on the back end?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why would you not? You know what? We always tell let me pull this for those of you in Rio Linda. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Governments are doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
They're not being left out in the cold. Those of you who think you're getting it over, and I have a couple friends in my Facebook group, and my well, really all I have is Facebook. I really don't do a lot with the other stuff. In my friends group, but as far as digital goes, Facebook's really the only one I really interact with. You're not getting one over the government. If you think for some reason that the government is not 10 steps ahead of you, I'm here to tell you you're wrong.
Well, the same
Trust me, they are there.
But it's not just governments. It's tech companies. It's there with every organization. Well, first of all, the government's just another company. We can get in politics aside. It's just a company. Literally any organization.
Yes. There's a reason why when you drive into town, it says corporational limits.
There are people where it's their only job to be 10 steps ahead of everybody else. But as far as diversifying, I'm glad we got on that subject. This is another show we have to have coming up, which is why you need to diversify and have multiple sources of income. We doing the Hofbrau shout out here? Here we go.
I always do the Hofbrau shout out.
So here's some interesting stats. The average millionaire has 7 sources of income. Let's say hypothetically only 1 in 9 of those actually survive and become viable. This means you have to start a minimum of 63 businesses before you have solid 7 sources of income of your own creation.
Yep.
So
yes, diversify,
and get to work, because a 9 to 5 isn't going to make you a millionaire unless you're a really good job.
No. Unless you're doing something crazy, Bob Iger or something.
Bob Iger,
Bob Iger's Bob Iger's my Joe Rogan to you. So the old adage of, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Well,
nobody says you're going to succeed on your first idea, your first principle. Your first Instagram page may struggle. Now, following Granted, you're going to have multiple weeks because we literally go way off on tangents.
You think?
If you follow us, yes, this in fact talking about the tangent is a tangent.
We're so meta right now.
Following us, and again, but the whole idea behind our podcast was we can literally set and bore you to tears. Absolutely, we can do that. But you know what? That's not what we want to do. We're entertaining. We have fun. A lot of people love us, which is crazy because we don't have a huge following as far as live viewers. But within 24 hours, it's actually shocking. And I'm not going to go through in the numbers because we're not there yet. We want to use this when we get to 52, which will be a year of doing this. When we get to episode 52, so episode 53, we will actually take a look back at it. But you guys will be shocked about the number of viewers we have and the spike that goes up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then it comes down, and it actually on Thursday it actually goes up.
Because
it goes up and then it slacks off throughout the rest of the week until our next video.
Yeah, our replay numbers are huge. I'm still surprised at our replay numbers.
Yes.
People watch this in full length. They'll watch more than an hour of this thing.
Yes. So we are, and I haven't clicked a button over here for a while, but I think we're close to, or actually I think we're exceeding an hour right now. But I think, it's 9:43. We're way over an hour. But what's shocking enough is the ones where we go that are pushing up against 2 hours.
Yeah.
Those do shockingly well. I mean, amazingly well. And people watch them from start to finish. The amount of people to do that is just, I mean, thank you all very much, everybody who does it. And it's a great time. And we do it for you guys.
And if you are watching this on the replay, please leave a comment, like the video, share it, and follow this channel because we will love you forever. And it'll bring you 7 years of good luck. That's true. That's
yes, absolutely true. Unless it doesn't, then, we
then you can blame Facebook. Don't blame us. Blame Facebook. That's their problem at that point.
If it doesn't happen, it's definitely Facebook. No, it's MySpace. It was MySpace that did it to you in the first place.
Blame Tom over at MySpace, that jerk.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, if they brought back MySpace, get back on that tangent. If they brought back MySpace, they'd have to bring back Tom.
Absolutely.
Everybody was friends with Tom.
Sitting in front of a computer, in front of a whiteboard, kind of looking back at you like he's looking at the curtains back here.
Can you imagine if a company actually rebuilt MySpace from the ground up, right? And they launched this thing on a massive debut and they marketed the heck out of it. It would explode. It would be the front page of every paper in the modern world.
I'm gonna go look up. So I actually bought a website. I actually talked about it last week with you a little bit.
MySpace.com?
And I'm not. No. Sadly, MySpace.com was not available. But I bought a website. And I talked to you about it briefly. We don't know what to do with it yet. So I'm actually going to put it to our viewers of what we should do with this website. The website's name, and this is, I literally half asleep, laying in bed. This came to me, and I'm like, I've got to have it. This is genius. This is going to work. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what's going to be. But I bought the website.
Oh, hang on. Before you unveil this publicly, do you want to leave this up to the viewers to decide what happens on this?
Yes, absolutely. I want to leave it up to the viewers.
Matt Harmon watches this.
Yeah, I know, but he's gone. He's asleep by now.
That's true. Lightweight.
So it's really Rob Miller and Mick Walcott that we're talking to.
Exactly. There you go. So everybody watching this, and even people watching on the replay, because I know there are people.
Yeah, absolutely on the replay. Put it up here. Send us a message. I want to know what you think this website should be about, and we're going to do it. I already have my American Garage Club. That's my business. I'm going to leave it to my son. That's where we're going to grow, and that's how we're going to do that. This one is going to be up to you guys. Let's find out what needs to be there, what you think needs to be there, and we will try to cultivate that website and that presence in that area. Unless you guys recommend something that's absolutely ridiculous, then I will ignore you all.
What's your
So the website name is randomfrivolity.com.
Okay.
Randomfrivolity.com. And I got to tell you, I actually use that term a lot. What are you guys doing today? I don't know. Random frivolity. So I don't know. Do we want it to be back in the day, there was an app called Urban Spoon where you clicked a button and it went like a slot machine and it rotated around, and you could set some minor parameters into it. And it gave you something to eat. It gave you a place to go eat, a restaurant in your area within your parameters.
Yeah, Urban Spoon.
And the idea was, just like my friends, hey, what do you want to eat today? Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter, whatever. And then you mention something, you go, oh, no, I don't want that. So basically it was, all right, everybody agrees to this. You click the button, you go, do we want it to be a random frivolity? This is an activity that we can do. Do we want it to be a open mic night for jokes that we can just host videos?
Okay.
Do we want, we don't know what we want it to be, but I know that randomfrivolity.com is going to be it's going to be the next Chive TV.
Well,
it's going to be the next Chive.
Because I was thinking it sounds like it should be like the next Chive. But if you had like a hybrid between a Chive and an Urban Spoon for stuff to do, for activities, that could work really well. Urban Spoon is a great app. So here's the thing. Anybody who's actually ever dated or been married to a woman will know it's impossible to decide on what to have for dinner. It's impossible.
What do you want to eat tonight?
It's not that simple. No, what do you want to eat tonight? It's not that simple. And that'll go on all. For those who know the reference, you know the reference. Okay. If you don't know the reference, ignore it.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. But and then always comes back.
Not that place.
Exactly. They're like, I don't care, whatever you pick.
Not that place either.
The first 10 places you suggest, I don't want that. Well, then you say something. It's mind-boggling.
What do you think?
Urban Spoon.
Oh, whatever you want.
So Urban Spoon.
What about the Hofbrauhaus? No, I don't want that. Oh,
you just said whatever I want.
What about Don Tequila? No, I don't want that. Now,
but I don't care what we eat. So, but Urban Spoon was great because then you can take all the choice out of it. You can set your price parameters.
You want American?
You can set
Do you want Mexican? Do you want Asian food?
Right.
Do you want fusion? Do you want Indian? And
it had like a slot.
Shockingly, I like a lot of Indian food.
And it had like a slot machine functionality built into it, and it would land on a place to eat. And guess what? That was your decision. And my current wife says, "Oh, please." And look, Kirsten, I'm telling the truth. She knows I'm telling the truth.
My name's Kirsten.
Because we've had that same conversation.
My name's Kirsten, and I approve of this message.
Literally everybody who's ever been married or dated a woman knows you can never decide on what to eat. You can't do it. It's impossible. Yeah, I don't care, whatever. And then the first 10 suggestions, I don't want that. And then you say, well, can't you just choose? And then the comment always comes back, why do I always have to choose?
Whatever you want, honey. So randomfrivolity.com.
Yes.
Put it out there. Let us know what you think it should be. And let's make it happen.
So that'll be fun to see what comes back on that. Here's what we should do.
I mean, it's an amazing website. I literally was half asleep.
Yep.
Falling asleep. Rolling over like, random frivolity. Random frivolity? That's a great name for a website. Let me go over here. And I got my phone and I'm like, click. And I log on and I'm like, click. And it's like, hey, this is available. I'm like, click. Congratulations, you just bought randomfrivolity.com. Like, yeah.
And GoDaddy's like, cha-ching.
Yeah, GoDaddy was like, any place but that.
Exactly. And with that, we should probably wrap it up. Because I think we've just offended literally every female viewer we've ever had.
No.
In addition to every cryptocurrency investor we've ever had. In addition to anybody with any kind of Instagram following.
No. So next week, we are going to get into post number 1 through 10. We are going to go over the first 10 posts that you need for your Instagram account.
Okay.
And then we're going to go, and that'll be enough for next week. We're going to go over 10 posts for you next week. Niche down and that's going to tell you where you need to be. Niche down is going to help you. I don't care how you want to pronounce it. It really doesn't matter. The more focused you can become, the better you're going to be, the better you're going to grow. We can take it, you hashtag ding dongs. That is from hashtag your current wife.
That is my current wife.
But anyway, we're going to go over your first 10 Instagram posts and what they need to be. Basically, those are going to set the tone of what you need to do. And then, more importantly, just before, because we always have the intro thing before we have our beer and our alcohol or whatever we're drinking tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the time frame of this is kind of our chit chat, and this is the prelude to what we're getting into tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about your primary or your main goals. If you have 10 main goals, you don't have main goals. We're going to narrow them down to your top 3 goals. If you have more than 3, they are not focused enough.
Mm-hmm.
They are too abstract. We're going to narrow down to your 3. That's going to help you niche down. Once you niche down, we're going to go into the 10 posts. The first 10 posts, and we're going to keep the American Garage Club. Actually, between now and then, we are going to post those 10 or at least some subsect of those 10 posts. And then we're going to go from there. So we'll see you guys next week.
It'll be a fun one.
We'll be back. Actually, we'll
be live at the Hopper House.
You know what?
St. Patrick's Day.
We're going to say that's a weekend. We're going to say it's 2 weeks out because, to be honest, and so everybody knows, we don't know what's going to happen next week. It literally may be overran with the joyous occasion of St. Patrick's Day without the global plague sniffles of death oppressing upon us, and it may be lit off the channel. You guys may not even hear us next week, but we'll get into some of it, and we're going to show you a great time. We'll be live at the Hofbrauhaus House Columbus next Wednesday night, and we'll see you there.
All right, see you then.
All right, am I still with you? I can still hear you. So they can still see me? On the countdown now? No? They can hear us live? I'm sitting here dancing like a fool? All right, that's cool. There we go. Something happened. I hear the music, but it's because I can hear it through your computer. I muted the Facebook so that I didn't have an echo. I understand. You don't want to. You need that music to be able to feed it into the feed. I see it. I see you back there. That's cool. Dude, I gotta tell you, I mean, we pushed 2 hours on that damn thing. My mom says you're still on. Have you got that fixed? Thanks, Mom, I love you. We can hear Dave.